Finally, consider the most common type of excess capacity, self-importance. Self-importance arises when excessive importance is given to something. Self-importance represents excess potential in its pure form. When it is eliminated, the forces of equilibrium create problems for those who create this potential. There are two types of importance, internal and external. Internal or personal importance manifests itself as an overestimation of your strengths or weaknesses. The formula for intrinsic importance is, I am an important person, or I am doing important work. When the arrow of personal importance goes off scale, the forces of equilibrium take over, and the important bird gets a peck on the nose. Someone who does important work will also be disappointed. Either the work will not be needed by anyone, or they will do it very poorly. But puffing out your cheeks and spreading your fingers is only one side of the coin. There is also a downside, namely belittling one's own dignity, self-contempt. You know what follows. As you can imagine, the magnitude of the excess potential in both cases is the same. The difference is only in signs. External importance is also artificially created by a person when they attach great importance to an object or event in the external world. The formula for external importance. This is of great importance to me, or it is very important for me to do this. This creates excess potential, and the whole business will be ruined. If you can still somehow curb the feeling of internal importance, then things will get worse with external importance. Imagine that you need to walk on a log on the ground. It couldn't be simpler. Now you have to walk on the same log thrown over the roofs of two high-rise buildings. This is very important to you, and you will not be able to convince yourself otherwise. The only way to eliminate external importance is insurance. In each case, the insurance will be different. The main thing is not to put everything on the same scale. There must be some kind of counterweight protection, an alternative path. All feelings and reactions of imbalance, indignation, discontent, irritation, anxiety, enthusiasm, depression, confusion, despair, fear, pity, affection, admiration, idealization, delight, disappointment, pride, arrogance, contempt, disgust, resentment, and so on, are nothing more than manifestations of importance in one form or another. Excessive potential is only created when you exaggerate a quality, an object or an event, whether inside or outside of yourself. Importance creates excessive potential, provoking the wind of balancing forces. In turn, they give rise to many problems, and life becomes a continuous struggle for existence. Now you can judge for yourself how much internal and external importance complicates your life. But that's not all. Think of the strings of puppets. Pendulums attach themselves to your feelings and reactions. Fear, anxiety, hatred, love, adoration, sense of duty, guilt, and others. As you can imagine, all these feelings are consequences of importance. Literally, the following happens. Here's an object in front of you. On an energetic level, it is neutral, neither good nor bad. You walked up to it, wrapped it in a package of importance, stepped aside, looked, and gasped. Now you are ready to energize the pendulum because you have something to hook onto. The donkey will obediently follow the carrot. What is important is the carrot itself, with which the pendulum will be able to capture the frequency of your radiation, extract energy from you, and lead you wherever it pleases. Therefore, in order to balance yourself with the outside world and free yourself from the pendulums, it is necessary to reduce importance. You need to constantly monitor how important you perceive yourself and the world around you to be. The inner supervisor must not sleep. By reducing importance, you will immediately enter a state of balance, and pendulums will not be able to establish control over you, because there is nothing to hook onto in the void. You might argue that you will soon become an idol. I'm not urging you to completely renounce emotions or to moderate their amplitude. In general, it is useless and unnecessary to fight emotions. If you try to control yourself and outwardly remain calm, while everything is bubbling inside, the excess potential is further aggravated. Emotions are generated by attitudes, so attitudes must be changed. Feelings and emotions are only consequences. There is only one reason: importance. Let's say someone was born to me, died or got married, or some other important event. Is it important to me? No, I don't care. No, I don't. Do you see the difference? I simply don't inflate the problem and don't bother myself or others about it. Well, what about compassion? I think I won't be mistaken if I say that compassion and helping those who really need it haven't hurt anyone yet. But here too, it is necessary to control importance. I made a reservation that help can only be given to those who really need it. What if a person wants to suffer? He likes it very much, and your compassion for him is a form of self-affirmation at your expense. Or for example, you saw a crippled beggar and gave him money, and he smiled at you viciously. And this is not a cripple at all, but a professional beggar. In the world of animals and plants, and indeed in nature in general, there is no such thing as importance. There is only expediency. From the point of view of the implementation of the laws of balance, the sense of personal importance can only manifest itself in pets that live close to people. Yes, society has a certain influence on them. The rest of the animals are guided solely by instincts in their behavior. Importance is an invention of people for the delight of pendulums. A strong deviation in the direction of external importance breeds fanatics. And the deviation towards intrinsic importance, who do you think? Cretin. One might get the impression that in such a situation, it is usually scary to take a step. Fortunately, things are not so bad. The forces of equilibrium begin to affect you noticeably only if you are strongly attached to your ideas, obsessed, and really go too far. Everything is also clear with pendulums. We are all under their influence. The main thing is that you are aware of how they get their hands on you and how far you allow them to go in this. Reducing importance will not only significantly reduce the number of problems in your life. By giving up external and internal importance, you receive a treasure such as freedom of choice. How, you ask? Because according to the first principle of transurfing, we already have freedom of choice. You have something, but you cannot take it. Pendulums do not give equilibrium forces either. Because of importance, your whole life is spent fighting against the forces of equilibrium. There is no energy left, not only for the choice itself, but also for thinking about what exactly you want from life. And pendulums are constantly striving to establish control and impose foreign goals. What kind of freedom is there? Any importance, both internal and external, is implausible. We all want to say absolutely nothing in this world. And at the same time, all the riches of this world are available to us. Imagine children happily splashing in the waves on the shore. Let us assume that none of them imagines that he is good or bad, that water is good or bad, that other children are good or bad. As long as this situation persists, the children are happy. They are in balance with nature. Moreover, every person came into this world as a child of nature. If they do not disturb the balance, all the best in this world is available to them. But as soon as they start inventing importance, problems immediately arise. A person does not see the causal relationship between the importance created and the problems, so it seems to them that the world is an initially hostile environment where it is not so easy to get what they want. In fact, the only obstacle to fulfilling a desire is the artificially created importance. Perhaps I have not yet been able to convince you of this. However, my arguments are far from exhausted.